Hello, Reese from the Point Music Podcast thingy. I decided not to do the long thing this time around. Okay, so I got a whole heap of podcasts coming up in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. So to kick that period off, I've got Newcastle group Elestial, and I featured on a Friday New Music Dump a little while back with their song 19. But they've dumped the whole EP, Delphinium, which is an amazing EP, sort of like blending a bit of like country with shoegaze and indie, and it's a great EP. You just need to go up the description and you know what I mean. The whole EP will be linked in the description. Total brain fart. Anyway, I'm chatting with Elyssa and Toby from Elestial, talking about the EP, talking about country music in general, and merging with indie and shoegaze, and festivals and touring, and yeah, all that jazz. So I hope you like this one. They're going to be touring from the end of this week all the way up until October. So if you're interested after this after this episode, check him out. Ladies and gentlemen, people of all sorts, this is Elestial.
Oh yeah,
we've got a lamp in here.
I didn't. We're rolling down. I didn't capture that bang, so it's all good.
Oh, okay. That's awkward.
It's all right. Elyssa and Toby from Elestial. How are we this evening? I can't even. Yeah, well, it's dark. We'll go with it.
Tonight. Yeah, no, we're good.
Excellent. Firstly, congrats on Delphinium. I pronounced that correctly, did I not?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a
Yes.
hectic couple of weeks. Yes, very, very exciting. Actually non-stop for the past couple of weeks with that release, but it's like our first little baby out into the world.
Because it dropped on April 5, didn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
You had to think for a second.
I know. Well, yeah, it's been literally crazy the past 2 weeks because we had 2 launch gigs for it. We had like an over 18s and an under 18s launch gig, and that was like the 2 following weeks from the EP launch. So it kind of felt like it hasn't really stopped.
Yeah, all blurred
yet.
together. And you're starting your tour at the end of this week too, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Crazy stuff. Yeah.
Which you're kicking it off with the Gumball Festival, which is a pretty big way to kick off a tour.
We're literally so excited for that gig. I mean, I've loved the Gumball for years, and so excited that we get to play it. We did do like the Young Gum stage last year at the Gumball, which was like heaps of fun. But now we're doing one of the main stages for this year, and literally couldn't be more psyched for it.
See, I've been curious about this festival. It's been one for me to sort of really check out, but never. I mean, I've applied for it a few times with various different bands and that, but never really experienced it. So, what is the vibe of that? Is it because it's kind of out in the bush, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about an hour out of town from Newey, but it's pretty cool. It's like as far as you'd know better than me, Liz. You've been around it more, but it's like a family run farm, but instead of cattle and sheep, they put events on, the Gumball being the biggest one. Like it's a bit of a thing that people turn up for, but they do Thrashville.
Oh, yep.
Well, the location's called Dashville. That's like the name of the land.
Yeah.
And they do like 3 main festivals. I think it is Thrashville,
Skyline,
Dashville, Skyline, and the Gumball. And the Gumball is like the biggest one out of all of them. Well, not the biggest, but I think the most attended. Like Thrashville is pretty massive within its genre, which is like the heavy metal genre, people know. But the Gumball is like a bit more of like a family friendly vibe.
And then they just put gigs on, like one-off gigs.
Yeah.
All through the year.
So they're basically farming musicians. That's basically what they're doing, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Pretty much.
Free
but
range
it's a great. Yeah, you just camp like at the Gumball. You just camp overnight and just hang out. You bring your chairs, set it up in front of the stages, and they've always got people like literally packed out in front of the stages, and then whoever wants to sit down, they just bring their chairs in and sit down, and it's like bring your own booze, and you can just chill. It's awesome. Yeah. It's a great festival.
Yeah, I played one similar to that up in Agnes Water, which is roughly 4 hours from where I am. 5 hours where I am. And that's very similar sort of vibe. It's no longer running, but it ran for about 4 or 5 years. It was called Spring in the Vale, and yeah, that's a similar sort of thing on a farm.
Yeah, the vibes, those festivals, I think, like less intense.
Less Triple J sponsored.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Which is...
He'd love that comment.
But no, it's good. We're very keen to play it. It sounds almost dingy and it is DIY. Like they build the stages themselves, but like the actual sound and gear and feel about it's very, very cool and professional, and it's they do a good thing. They get good acts as well. They've got can we swear?
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, we've got Tropical Fuckstorm.
Oh yeah,
playing the night we're playing. They had and they get big people. They had Paul Dempsey last year, which was super cool.
Okay, yeah, cool. That would have been pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
But anyway, we're here to talk about EP, not Gumball Festival. I mean, they just got free advertising out of me straight away, so that was pretty sweet for them. So you guys are special because I've done some notes. Because very rarely I do notes. Yeah, no, nothing bad. So I had to, because I was listening to the EP on my way home, which is a good sort of, it filled in basically that half-hour trip to get home. And I know you released 4 singles prior to release of the EP, which are all on the EP, and they're all strong singles. But the one that stood out to me the most, and the one that hit me hard, was actually the closer, World So Cruel.
Yes! World So Cruel Love. I'm such an advocate for World So Cruel Love. I don't think it gets enough love. It's my favourite one of the EP.
I don't think you realise how heavily lifted from the 90s that track actually is. Speaking as someone that is vintage 79, that lived through the 90s as a teenager and listened to all that sort of music, it sounds like it would belong on the Crow soundtrack. All right? It's one of those kind of songs.
Thank you.
Love a bit of validation for World So Cruel. Yeah, that was one of my favourite one to play live. It's so fun, and it's just everyone always loves it when we play it live. But that big ending, and just so much fun to record. So yeah,
it was big on the dynamics, but also showcases your vocal take, Elyssa, a lot more, and tonality wise, that's why I'm saying it's very 90s like, because you don't hit the chord changes in that, and particularly in that chorus bit where it shifts just slightly. It's something you would hear in the 90s more than you don't really hear it today. So
well, thank you. Yeah, I was listening, and I do take a lot of inspiration from, when I'm writing the bass of the songs before we take it to the boys. And a lot of the songs on the EP were actually written prior to the band getting together, and I had them as just songs that I've written and then taken them to them, and they've turned into completely different things. World So Cruel was so different before I took it to the band, but when I was first writing, I was very much listening to a lot of 90s type songs and 90s girl bands and that kind of vibe, and wanting to do something different from what I was hearing on the radio and everything.
Fun fact, and I only just realised I was sitting down, we were playing that song, me and my wife were playing the song, and are you familiar with the band Live?
Yes.
And the song Lightning Crashes?
Yeah.
You can sing that melody over the top of the chords over that.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Trust me.
I haven't realised that.
Trust me, you can actually sing, lightning crashes. Yeah, over the top of that chord, those chords in the verses. It spun me out. We both looked at each other and we started singing it. It was pretty bizarre.
Yeah, I've actually never heard of it. So
if you know, you know.
Yeah, one of the biggest selling albums of the 90s, Throwing Copper. And actually, to be fair, if you listen to that album, you guys actually have a lot of similar sounds.
Oh, I'll have to give it a
because you've got that hidden secret country chick stuff that you off air we were talking about, and merge it with your shoegaze and indie sort of tones that you have. And it's plus the guitar tones in World So Cruel is very, very similar. It's also got a bit of a like a Stone Gossard Pearl Jammy kind of vibe happening as well. But yeah.
Sick.
You got to listen to it in a different light now.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to that.
I think there has been a pretty consistent take on our music so far. Like a bit, I guess it's mainly come from Elyssa's songwriting, but that sort of 90s-esque style is sort of kind of shines through in our stuff a bit, I feel. But probably is down to your writing. But
no, I think I think we just wanted to create like something different to what like everyone seems to be doing right now.
Yeah.
It seems to be on the radio, and just, you know, just something different. It doesn't have to be new, just something, you know, different to what's happening right now. So there's a little bit of like a little blip of Elestial happening in the world, hopefully.
So how old are these songs then?
Fire I wrote when I was 13.
Okay. So you hang on to it for a little while.
Yeah, I think Fire was the first song I ever wrote. And like it was just like, I don't know, I just loved it, and I've just held on to it for so long. And then when we started the band, I was like, there's this song that I wrote. It's so old, but we need to try and put it in a band setting, and it just transformed the song completely. And the lyrics still like ring true to me to this day, like those lyrics that I wrote when I was 13. And then a lot of the other songs were written during high school, so like, and a lot of them when me and Toby first started playing together. But you know, they really were very different to what they are now. Like, Don't Offend the Kids, World So Cruel. You know, they're very very different. Like, you can hear the voice memos from when I first wrote. Even Delphinium, like, crazy difference to what they are in the band setting.
Nothing's Gonna Change was like a folk song.
Yeah, well, I wrote Nothing's Gonna Change with my friend Lily Crane, who goes by Daphsy. She's a Newcastle artist. And we wrote that one together. And when we finished writing it, she was like, you need to take this to your band and make it like a big song. And I was like, yeah, righto. And then, yeah, it just became like our big opener to all our shows and to the EP. Yeah.
But I think as they are now, probably 2 years, two and a half years old, like in their current, the songs are, the edge of the songs.
So when was this actually wrapped up recording and mixed?
It was recorded in August of 2022.
All right.
We recorded Shane Nicholson, and we recorded Damien Gerard Studios in West Gosford, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Great studio.
And then I think we received the tracks. No, we got them in January. Late January, early Feb of 2023.
And then it's just been the slow release drip feed thing until the...
the boys, well, Toby and Rowan went away to Europe after we finished recording for 3 months, so everything just kind of paused. We wanted to do like the Netflix approach, the slow release.
The drip feed, yep.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to come out like this year. It was meant to come out in 2023, but we just kept pushing things back because we wanted the songs to like get the love that they deserved, and not just put it out because we were rushed. And we wanted to do the music videos and, you know, do the single launches and give them all the love that they deserved. And yeah, like 4 of the songs might have been released separately, but I think it's like a whole package when you listen to it in the EP all together. They all kind of like relate to each other. And it's not like a concept EP, but they all kind of mesh together. And we did spend quite a long time like putting them where they belonged, like in their right order, so that when you listen to it, it kind of all flows.
Well, that's what I was going to point out, that the opening track, it has more of that country element sneaking through that merges with that shoegaze, right? And then you eventually just basically step up that notch more and more, and you're shifting away from that sort of alt country kind of vibe all the way over to the other side. And and ending on World's So Cruel, which is basically, like I said, like very 90s live-ish, I guess. And that's well thought out with your structuring, so kudos on that one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So
it's a long time coming for this one, but it's so good that it's finally out, and we get to, we got spending that time, extra time in the release meant we could, organize our launch shows and organize our tour and make it all a package deal.
Which is a pretty big tour too, because you're doing 15 dates on this sucker, and you're going back and forth too, because you come up to eventually up to Brisbane, and then you go back down south, and then you're back up to Sunshine Coast.
Well, we try to make things work for a weekend, so we do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come home from the week, because we obviously all have jobs. We need to go to, so we do either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and do a weekend trip. And we've got actually changed a few of the dates, and we've got some more dates on the poster now that we're going to be releasing super soon,
sweet, tomorrow.
Some dates have changed, and we've got some extra ones. We're going to Tamworth now. And also going to play the Tomcat in Brisbane.
Instead of Black Bear, or are you coming back?
Oh, we're doing both.
You're doing both. All right, yeah. So two completely different venues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very close.
There's a few. We're going 2 or 3 times. We're going up north your way. I think. Yeah, we're hitting Queensland hard. But
is it the first time you've been up here?
We've never played there before, so we were why not just go a couple times and Yeah. Well,
okay. I'll give you a heads up. I'll give you a heads up about Black Bear Lodge. Great venue.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the lug up the back of the stairs.
Yeah. We've heard that. Yeah. You know what? We've got practice because our band room is down 2 flights of stairs. So
you haven't experienced anything until you've experienced the Black Bear Lodge back staircase.
Right.
Tell your bass player to pack light.
Right. Okay. Oh, hopefully we're not bass.
Yeah.
We'll see.
As someone that's experienced it a few times, it is a fun venue. It is it's a long, skinny one, but the load in from the back. I think it's a rite of passage for any gigs in Brisbane. Is that thing?
Right. Yeah. No, we're definitely keen. There's a few gigs in particular I'm keen for. And we're going down to Wollongong for the second time, which will be super fun, playing North Gong Hotel.
Oh, nice.
With we're actually going down with fellow Novocastrians, Hey Lenny, which will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Taking them with us.
Yeah, that'll be super good.
Yeah. And it's a 4-band lineup, that one, actually. So
yeah,
it's a little mini day of it,
So the one that you're playing up, because you're playing the Precinct in Nambour in July, and that one there's is it a showcase?
Yeah, so those dates are actually some of the ones that we're changing. So at the moment, I think they've got the 5th, 6th, 7th, but it's actually the next weekend. And yeah, it's a showcase with vinyl records.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going up with 2 other bands. And yeah, it's going to be so fun. It's a collaboration of a vinyl printing that they're doing, vinyl pressing, that they're doing, that will have a song on. And then they're going to tour some of the bands on that record. And I think we actually added another date in Woy Woy, the Lincoln Pin, for that as well.
That's right.
That we'll be doing in July, I think, as well. So yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going up with actually a younger band called Pit, and they're sick. They're just coming up in the scene at the moment, and they're awesome. Yeah, they're so good. So we're really excited to be traveling with them. Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Tour time's fun.
Yeah,
it is. And then then wrapping it up with the big one right at the end, Denny Utemaster.
I did see that. So you guys like get on to because you're playing a lot of sort of like country-ish kind of stuff. Is that how?
Well, look, like we were talking about before, I am an old country singer at my roots. From when I was younger, I was only like 13, 14, 15 when I was in the country scene. But I did make a lot of connections while I was there. And I did have a lot of help coming up in that scene. I feel like it's really important to, show those connections love and to thank them for, like helping me kind of find my sound and find who I was as a musician before I met the boys. And then, being able to like bring a band, especially like I'm super keen to play Tamworth. Like I'm so keen because, the people there, they love music, and you'd be surprised, especially when it's not country, because they don't get a lot of bands that aren't country. So they were so keen to have us in. And I think it's just, Denny Ute must have just, the country scene is very like welcoming, I feel like.
It's huge too.
They love to have cool bands, and they love to just invite anyone in to play, and, like if you're keen and you're willing to hustle, they're like, yeah, come on, we'll have you play. And, like that's what it was like when I was younger. So now like showing that back when we have like a whole band sound and a full show and a good show, I think was important to me at least. But yeah, Denny Ute Muster is kind of like its own thing, really.
It'll be fun. I don't think we're the most outrageous band there. I don't like Amy Shark's playing, and
but she's also got history. So yeah, I get it.
Well, yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, it'll be fun. Hopefully, people latch on to the small part of country that we've got. But
yeah, I think it's just a cool sound. Like I don't think we've really fit well into the square of any genre, where like lots of different genres thrown together. So us playing like country festivals and things like that is not really that outrageous, at least to me. But we actually played the Play on the Plains, the indie festival that they put on at the Denny Ute Muster grounds, and we played just a small stage there, and we ended up reaching out, just being like, if you ever need someone for Denny Ute Muster, let us know. And they were like, well, actually, yeah, we loved you, so yeah, come back. We were like, whoa, okay, cool. Just a little 20,000 people that we can play to.
Just a smidge.
Yeah. Just a little bit. So it's so worth the 9-hour drive. We're just like, yep, pack up the car, off we go. We kind of just take any experience we can get a hold of, and you never know who's going to be at what gig.
Well, that's what I think. I don't know if I was talking to you online or like you're saying you imagine that, but basically classify yourselves as fringe and you get on. So fringe, you could have just the tiniest little bit of country in there, and they'll accept you basically, and just go, oh yeah, well, they're basically old country. But country is such a broad spectrum these days, particularly in Australia as well. I don't see why you wouldn't be on there, to be honest with you, now that you explained it the way you did. So yeah, easy. Yeah,
well, we have a lot of, especially my writing, like we have a lot of country elements, and I've got a lot of appreciation for country music. So I think, I love Tamworth. I'm so excited to go there. I'm dragging the boys with me, and I'm like, just trust me, it's going to be the best. There's such a good vibe at Tamworth. I love it. So yeah, we're not playing the country festival, but we are just playing like in Tamworth.
Yeah.
I can't remember I think it's June or July, but it'll be on the tour poster. So excited.
That's actually a similar attitude to like a lot of people that play in the roots and folk scene for Woodford. And if you've never played it before, and people just going, you're gonna actually just really love playing the Woodford Folk Festival. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah.
It's a massive festival. It's literally like 20 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah.
And it's huge.
Right.
And
would love to play.
I didn't know what it was going to be like until like I had the chance to play it twice and 2.5 times basically, because there was one time during COVID, which we won't talk about. Yeah, because it was weird. But the other 2 times we played it, we were playing, the band I was in, we were playing to like, I don't know, 2,500, 3,000 people in a go, and it just blows your mind. And
unreal.
But it's the vibe itself. It's just, you're just free-spirited and stuff. You just go along with it.
It's so good. I feel like people don't really realize like what country music is. They just think of,
pickup trucks classic, and sad songs.
Yeah, but there's another whole side, especially in Tamworth, to like Americana music, like Americana dark country, which is like where I pretty much fell in love with music as a kid. And artists like the Weeping Willows, Great Aunt, like Tori Forsyth.
Oh yeah,
incredible like songwriting inspos for me. And I love all those people personally as well. And like I said, it's such a friendly community. It's not like, like there's a barrier between you and your inspirations. Like they'll get out, they'll chat to you. And even as a kid, like I was chatting to like my inspirations. And like I take a lot of that still in my songwriting, is like the Americana vibe to country. And kind of then the boys, we add our
okay. So how did you actually come up with the idea of merging that sort of like shoegazy indie sort of tones that the guys add into that with your Americana countryish sort of thing, like because it works?
Yeah, well, it's kind of, I don't know, at our roots we're probably 4 very different musicians, like in terms of what we listen to. Like I am probably at heart a heavier kind of guy, like big into metal, big into prog, big into confusing time signatures.
Did you see Bring Me the Horizon and Sleep Token over like when they were touring?
Yeah, I went on Sunday.
Yes.
It was unreal.
Yeah, I bet.
Unreal. But
there's always one metalhead in a band. Trust me.
Oh yeah. So that's me, and lots of jazz and whatnot I've worked with, but mainly heavy music. And then our bass player is through and through Jai, through and through a punk head, like just punk.
But then randomly the Beatles, he's obsessed.
Yeah, and then the Beatles and Oasis, but like no effects. Millen Collin loves them, like gets all about it, so he's into that. Yeah, but then like lots of inspiration from Paul McCartney.
We all just kind of mesh for some reason.
Yeah,
it's like
it's usually a better thing to have though.
Usually I just bring like a song, and we're gonna start writing more like the foundations as a band. Like me and Rowan, the guitarist, are probably gonna write more together because he is a much better guitarist than I am and can think of some much better chord progressions and stuff. So we're probably going to start writing together and then fleshing it out as a band. But I think it all just kind of works, weirdly enough. Like I'll bring a song and just start playing it, and then I'll play it through once, and then we go, all right, we got it, and then we'll just play it. And then we'll just play it like 10 more times, and then we've got a bass, and it's kind of like we all just kind of make it work together. It's and
natural progression
whatever.
Of things.
Yeah. It's not like we sit down and go, okay, so we want this song to have this vibe, this feel, this riff. Like we just kind of like Rowan just plays around until he finds, and he always finds something so catchy to play. Like at the start of 19, like when he played that riff, we were just like, play that again, record that, and he always just comes up with like the catchiest little riffs to things. So
I feel like a lot of that comes with playing live as well.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of the parts of just happen. You'd probably know yourself, like you just accidentally play something live and you go, oh, hold on, that was kind of...
Yeah, the good old just jam and noodling sort of thing. Yeah, it does spawn quite a bit of gold.
Yeah.
I actually...
I'd say...
Great players that you can just like pick up whatever random thing I'm throwing down. They just pick it up immediately.
It's probably the hardest part.
Yeah. I'm like, this is a random chord that I made up. I don't know the name of it. Like, oh, okay.
It sounds good to me. Let's go with that. All right, so just to wrap things up now. Before we got on, I just did a quick Google of the actual term Delphinium or Delphinium. I thought it was going to be something really out there, but it is a plant, right?
Yeah.
But this is where the meaning of it, I went, this is quite clever because it can go two ways. I mean, the purple or the blue flower, which is, I believe, is the one that you're using on the actual cover of the EP, it means big-hearted.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Okay, so...
I didn't know that. The reason why we use Delphinium is because, like, more commonly known as wolfsbane, it's poisonous.
Okay.
It's a beautiful flower, but poisonous if consumed, and like to the point where it could kill someone.
Okay, so that went really dark.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a metaphor. Delphinium is about, someone who on the outside is like perfect and really good, and like on paper they're just awesome and you just want to be around them, but secretly they are not a good person and they're actually hurting you.
Damn,
so
way away from what I thought it was about.
Keep going along with it because you're like, why? Because they're so perfect on paper. So, nothing I would rather do than be poisoned by you is the last line of the song. And it's like, kind of like, oh, even though I know you're hurting me, like you're so beautiful and such an amazing person, I'm just gonna go with it, even though I know I'm gonna get hurt in the end.
All right, put your hand up if you're shit at understanding lyrics. Yeah, me.
Yeah. It's like a sneaky little thing if they're willing to do the research.
Yeah. Just don't research what I research because you get a completely different meaning. Because there was the other meaning of it, which is the white or pink. The white or pink flower means power of youth or new life.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
We could have just gone along with it. And
big heart.
No, it's it is a poisonous flower. That one. I think it would be like boil it in tea. It's in Harry Potter as well. That's what they use.
See, I'm a Gen Xer, so totally just bypassed. Well, I did watch Harry Potter, but I didn't read it in the books or anything like that. So
well, that's not where I got it from, but I did see that it was in Harry Potter. I was like, I'm doing the right flower then.
Hey, listen, Toby, we'll wrap things up now. So Delphinium is out now. You guys are touring throughout like the end of this month, all the way through July to the end of July, I believe. Are you going further into August?
I think we're calling the end of the tour Denny, which is the first weekend of October.
Oh, but there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll still be like out doing gigs. We've still got stuff planned after the tour. So
sick.
Yeah.
Big year.
Big year.
Big year.
Have an epic time and well done again on the EP. Hang on the line here and I'll have a quick debrief with you. To everyone else, adios. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. Big ups to Elyssa and Toby for good chats. We had some sneaky chats afterwards and talking about Bring Me the Horizon and Slip Token, but that's just nerding out. And that's for me to know and for you guys to never know. So there. Anyway, do check out Delphinium, the EP. Very cool. As I mentioned in the episode, the last song, World So Cruel, does remind me of Live, which is kind of weird because I only saw them like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and if you're interested, go see them on tour. Do it. Anyway, that's it for this one. We've got another one coming up very, 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 very soon. So stay tuned for that one. Until then, thank you for supporting local music, live music, Australian music, all sorts of music. You guys are legends. Ta-ta.